G'day guys, welcome back. It's Nathan here from the Outpost, and today we're looking at the newly released Bushpig shotguns from Axor Arms. Okay, we're running a little short on time at the moment, so we aren't going to get a chance to get out and do any live fire. But if you jump on the links below, TSA, who are the guys that have been behind the development of this shotgun, have got some really cool short videos. One showing you of the gun in action, live firing, and then another quick one on some basic maintenance for the gun. But today we're going to just run you through the product lineup, how they work, and a little bit more in-depth disassembly to show you how the bolt comes out of the gun. Okay, firstly we'll run you through the basic operation of the firearm. We've got a loading gate underneath the receiver. Just using some snap caps today, you push those in and they will latch into the magazine tube. Once you've got that magazine tube full and it holds 5, you can then pull the receiver back. That will drop around onto the loading gate, and then when you activate the release button, you will load the shotgun. Then upon firing, it will automatically eject the shell, pick up the next shell onto the loading gate, and you continue to fire. Once you've emptied the shotgun, you will notice that pushing the button does nothing. To close the receiver, you've got to manually activate the loading gate, and then it will close. Now, the beauty of this design, which sets it apart from pretty much everything else on the market, is that normally, to unload one of these shotguns once you've loaded it, you have to cycle the rounds through the chamber to unload the gun. But on the top of the receiver here, you can see that we've got a little latch that allows us to open the firearm up, and then we can unload it straight out of here without having to cycle it through the chamber. That's done by putting some pressure on the shell, pressing the little button on the receiver, and then that will let the round out. And if you want to have a bit of fun with your friends, you can just press that button and launch your shells. Okay, now some basic disassembly. First of all, making sure the firearm's unloaded. You'll take the magazine tube end cap off, spacer comes out, fore end comes out. That part's pretty simple. From here you've got a little castle nut that retains the barrel into the receiver. If that's a little bit tight to undo, sometimes you've got to apply downward pressure on the shotgun barrel and give it a little tap while you're applying pressure to the nut, like that, to get that to come undone. Once that's undone, you've got to thread it off both sections of the magazine tube. From there, pull the receiver back and your barrel will come free. Just juggle this here. Inside the barrel is retained a little gas block. That slides out and that can be cleaned, and inside of that needs to be cleaned as well, and you'll see where there's some little gas vents there. Give that a good clean, and the mechanic in me wants to mention that there's 2 piston rings on there. You'll want to make sure that they are opposite each other, just so that it forms a good seal for gas. Once you've dealt with all of that, you can then remove the bolt from the receiver by sliding the bolt back a little bit, removing the charging handle, and then letting it come forward. The bolt will slide out of the receiver. You can then perform maintenance on that. The bolt has a firing pin that's retained by a pin that is pinned in there, so you can't remove the firing pin easily, but you can still access and clean out all of the internal workings of that bolt without any drama. You can also remove the carrier and clean that as well. And then to put it back in, you've just got to make sure you line up and put the bolt with 3 hands, put the bolt back onto the carrier in the appropriate slot, and just relocate that in the receiver. And then from there, the charging handle will go back in, ensuring that you've got the slots lined up, and the rest of the assembly can commence from there. One of the major selling points of this shotgun was that it should be able to run standard clay target loads. So we did manage to get out and have a shoot with this thing a few weeks ago, and the first thing we did was put through some standard 28 gram 1250 feet per second target loads, and were delighted to find that yes, it does run them without a problem at all. We also put buckshot, slugs, different bird shots through it just to see whether it was fussy, and it ran everything we put through it, with the exception of the Aguila mini shot shell. We thought we'd give those a go just to see whether it would run them, but unfortunately they lacked the juice to cycle the action, and they also had feeding issues. We found that it was letting 2 shells out onto the loading gate at a time rather than 1 shell. Due to the length of them, it just all round, it was not going to work. So you can put that to rest. So if you stick to the standard 2 3/4 inch shells or 3 inch shells, you won't have a drama. At the moment, the available lineup includes the BP XT, which is the tactical version. It features a buttstock that has an adjustable comb and a couple of little shell holders there, which is pretty handy, and also a heat shroud for the barrel. Also included in the lineup is the BP20, which is just a stripped back version of the same gun, and it's a little bit cheaper. And also the BP28, which is the same gun again, with a longer barrel. All of these guns come with a Picatinny rail machined into the receiver, and there's a slot at the back for you to line up your front fibre optic sight, so you can use it as a set of open sights as well as being able to easily put a red dot on there. Also included in the box is a full set of chokes in a little case with a choke tool, so regardless of whether you're running slugs, SGs, or you want to shoot some clay targets with it, you've got the option to change them out to whatever best suits your application. Well, that about wraps it up. Simple but effective. They're a really quick and easy to use shotgun. They seem to be a very rugged action. We're looking forward to seeing people get out and have some fun with these, and also do something to try and knock the feral pig population on the head. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.